baby, and she said to me, you ain't the wolf that you used to be. I'm a no wolf, but it ain't my night to howl.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sleazegrinder Supershow. Here to solve the rock and roll crisis. Don't pay any attention to what's happening behind me.
Yeah, this isn't.
Because when it's ready to go, it's really going to be a thrill.
Yeah, you'll be thanking us 2 minutes.
Super thrill.
My name is Ken, but you might know me as the frankly legendary rock writer Sleazegrinder, and with me, of course, is Last King in Town, TV edition, my beautiful bride, Stacey Dawn, our producer, right here, and to my farther right, the Chachi to my Fawns, Stacey DC is here. and with us today, the very glamorous Allix Mortis is here.
Hi.
To talk, and once the curtain behind me is done, she's going to come through the curtain, and then we can clap.
I think I know which spot has the biggest opening.
It's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm. It'll be just like a drag show.
Because what happened was...
Honestly, I think it looks fantastic.
It does look pretty good.
I feel like John could have a little something.
What happened was, I was like, listen, we are having... The glamorous burlesque star Allix Mortis on, and we can't have this thing looking like some podunk public access show. So I need a solution. And John Manson said to me,
I can't even get his name right.
John Manson said to me, gold curtain. And I go, what kind of gold curtain? And he says, this one. Oriental Trading Company, $16.99 plus shipping later.
Order it?
This is it. This is what he...
No, but like you ordered it, or did you
No,
go to the
I ordered
store?
it.
Because it's a really fun place to visit, Oriental Trading.
Oh, is that a place that you can go to?
Yeah.
Allix Mortis, have you ever been there?
I've never been to a storefront, but I've ordered things from the catalog.
What do you get there that's good? Anything else we can use on the show?
For work, I ordered a bunch of zoo hats.
Great. So, what we're going to do then, Allix, you want to go through the... You want to be the first person to
Sure.
go through the curtain?
Which
Okay.
way? Oh yeah, I already see.
Oh, you can see this
And
already.
then when she comes through,
Yeah.
she's gonna be running right into us.
No, she's going to...
We'll get it right.
She's a professional.
She's gonna figure it out.
So.
Today on the show, burlesque star Allix Mortis is here, everybody. Allix Mortis, come on, Allix. There she goes. Hey! Oh, so good. Manson, do you want to get out of here now? Because if you do, you have to go through the... You have to come through the curtain if you want to get out.
All right.
And if you want
Thanks,
your
everyone.
seltzer.
There he goes, John Manson, everybody.
Thank you.
The great John Manson.
Fine work today.
Good
See you
job.
later, pal. From the Gondoliers. John Manson,
So handsome.
most handsome man in Boston Rock, right
Be
there.
behind there, but it's really humbling for him to be in these situations.
Doing a little help behind the scenes.
Right.
By the way, if you want to be with us for the next Sleaze and Manson Go to the Movies, we're going on Sunday to the Brattle to see what's the name of the city in Iceland?
Reykjavik.
Rock in Reykjavik, which is a documentary about rock bands in Iceland. They have them there for free, by the way. It's a free screening.
It is. Is it in Icelandic?
I think that would be. I think that would be
Are there
counterproductive.
subtitles?
If you're teaching people who are not from Iceland about music in Iceland, it would be counterproductive.
But it could be,
for it to be-
subtitles.
Yeah, it could be in some. I'm sure some of it will be in subtitles. Do they speak Icelandic there?
Yeah, it's like the name. It's impossible.
You know, you can go there for like $300.
Yeah, you can. That's why it's the only vacation I can currently afford. So next time I go on vacation, it's going to be to Iceland.
Somebody call John Manson and tell him to get his dumb seltzer water off of my thing. So Stacey, let's talk a minute with Allix about this fantastic idea she had a few weeks ago. It's called Dumpster Divas Pageant. And what happened was, if I understand correctly, Allix, is that everybody who participated in it, the costumes that they created had to be done for $10 or less.
Yep. Yeah, so we did 2 parts to the pageant, kind of like a regular pageant. A runway section with a Q&A and then a talent. And for the runway portion, you had to create a look for $10 or less. You could borrow things, you could secondhand things, you could dig things out of the trash. The only rule was no stealing.
Oh, man.
And yeah, it was pretty incredible what people turned out. And in the downstairs before the show, I informally asked everyone how much money they'd actually spent.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people made their costumes completely for free, no cost, just from friends donating things or from them finding stuff around the house. So it was pretty awesome.
But it really, although realistically, if you have rich friends, then you're in, right? I mean, like, what if you have millionaire friends? Can you still be a dumpster diva?
Yeah,
I guess if you had millionaire friends, you wouldn't be in the contest probably. You'd be in some other diva contest.
You might be for the bragging rights.
Yeah. There was like a couple of people had like halos of pill bottles. That was a new innovation that I hadn't seen before. It's pretty
I
good.
really like a couple, like more than one person did that.
A couple people had halos of pill bottles. That's what I'm saying.
I was impressed with, there
I
was some,
could get away with that at work.
yeah, there were some nice wigs too, which usually wigs cost a pretty penny. So that was kind of cool that people got nice hairpieces.
There was a mop head wig.
There was the mop head also.
And that was, so that was, yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah, and that was our
Gosh,
grand,
That's gotta be a winner, right?
that was our grand winner, trashiest of them all. They won the whole shebang,
That dude's
the
look
highest
was
honors.
one of the most disturbing I've ever seen, I think. I mean, that guy, go ahead, show that guy again.
To see all of that.
Wow, holy smokes.
What's on the, what's going on here? I can't really make out exactly what's
So
going on.
this is from Q&A. So my co-host Titania is talking to, this is our contestant. She's a brand new queen and her name is Celia Smokin' Butts. And she just like took trashy, she was just the epitome of trashy. She made this amazing trashy outfit. She did a trashy routine where she ribbon danced with trash. She was just so much fun. It's kind of like
the
everything.
pill supposed to be like the top of the cigarette?
I don't know. I don't really know what the concept was. I think it was just like maybe she took all of those and then they ended up adorning her head.
Beautiful.
So that's the way it went. And I think it was a smashing success, and I can see more dumpster diva pageants in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. I as soon as the show ended, I got stopped by a couple of people who asked me if I would do more. So, you know, if the Midway is game to have them, we'll probably do a few more.
You had people popping out of trash cans, everything. Because people were also embracing the trash theme in their performances as well.
Yep, yeah, so we had Trash Can Burlesque, we had the Charles River Mermaid Burlesque, which is kind of a signature act from Brandywine, a local burlesque dancer. We had trashy lip syncs. Oh, that performer was great. That was Guy Ferry, who took home Dumpsters, Drive-Ins, and Dives was their title. Yeah, they made their whole costume out of pizza boxes they got from an on-campus restaurant.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible.
It was good times, man.
I wonder if my collage skills could manifest in some sort of costume.
Sure. You got to use what you got.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see myself doing anything this fantastic. I don't know how you pick a winner. All of these look awesome.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody was a winner in their own particular way at the Dumpster Divas pageant.
Yep, yeah. Everyone came away with a title. We had our trashiest of them all, and then we had a Ms. Dumpster Diva and a mix, which is, you know, like a androgynous gender. Can I swear?
Yes.
Which is like an androgynous gender fucker. So we had those 3 crowns, and then all the other performers, everyone got something individual to them. So we had like Diva Trash Vegas. We had Dumpsters, Drive-Ins, and Dives. We had. I wrote them all down. It was just crazy. We came up with this crazy list. So, yeah, I'm having a
Let
brain
me ask
fart,
you this about one thing that I've noticed about the Boston burlesque. I don't know if it's, I live in Boston, so I don't know if it's just the Boston burlesque scene or burlesque in general, but there seems to be a lot of gender bending in burlesque.
Yeah, there's definitely more of that in Boston
Boston
than in most other scenes. I wouldn't say we own it. Like Pittsburgh is pretty gender fucky too, because burlesque is tied in heavily with the drag community, and they have a pretty robust alternative drag scene, which we don't really have here. But yeah, it's like a pretty nicely distinguished Boston thing, and I think it goes back to, you know, Jacques was one of the first places that opened up to letting burlesque performers do shows. My drag dad, Eliza Shapiro, ran this legendary show for years that went to Oberon called Tranny Wreck, which kind of opened the doors for lots of other weird offbeat variety shows.
Yeah.
And that always included gender bending elements, kings, queens, gender fuckers, burlesque performers, performance artists. So it's kind of like we're just a bunch of weirdos, and we've had this nice melting pot in this nice city that supports us all doing that.
Yeah. I remember I saw you at the Midway. Mm-hmm. You're doing that kind of like housewife thing. Remember that?
Yeah, that act's been a few places.
Yeah. But Chris, who's the other guy on our cast who's not here because he's on tour this week, we saw you and sat in the car afterwards, like really honestly, since we didn't know you, trying to figure out exactly what your gender was.
Yeah.
Right, which I think is probably a compliment.
Yep. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. People often, because I come from a drag background, so drag queens taught me how to do my makeup, drag queens taught me how to do my hair. When I first started in burlesque 6 years ago, I would sometimes be backstage with people and they'd be looking at me and they'd be like, what,
right.
and I'd be like, this is just what I learned, paint a face on your face, rock and roll, go with it.
Yeah.
But I love playing with gender, and part of, this isn't for everybody, this is just for me personally. When I do like lady drag, like when I host for Burlesque and I play their mom, I like to do like the crazy makeup and the big hair, because I kind of want people to look at me and be like, no, none of that's real.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've had people ask me, I've had drunk people come up to me and be like, what are you? And I've had very disappointed straight bachelorettes when I start speaking, realize I'm a biological woman, and be like, oh, phooey, thought we were getting the RuPaul's Drag Race experience.
We just have this conversation, just like, hey, so which one do you like the best? And like, I don't know, the housewife was pretty hot, man. And then he was like, yeah, but I think the housewife was a dude. And I was like, well, I don't know, does it matter? And he's like, no, it's still the hottest. That was the conversation.
Yeah, I remember you playing it back to me, and that's pretty much how it went.
Exactly. And the beauty of that is we're all learning lessons here.
Yep.
Because me and Chris Heavynecker Cardone, a couple of heteronormative guys.
Yeah.
But it turns out.
Didn't matter.
Turns out everybody.
Hot is hot.
Everybody slips a little along the Kinsey scale somewhere.
Yeah.
It's good to know you can do that. I know that I can, and I'm glad that you can too.
Thank you. What brought you to burlesque in the first place, Allix Mortis? Tell me what you were before burlesque, and then what about after? Did you change radically? Was there an epiphany? Was there like one day where like, this is what I'm going to pursue, and this is why? Kind
of. It was a really unusual process / journey. So I had a background in performance, and then I moved here, got kind of lost in my professional career, and I was working at this one job being this spokesperson for the company, and so suddenly I had to come up with like a persona and be this like character, and when I left that job I actually missed that. I missed being like this larger than life person. I missed the performative aspect, and I'd been kind of hanging around the burlesque and drag scenes for forever, so I just started going to shows, meeting people. I took a ton of classes. I took classes in everything just to try to like get back into stuff. And I'd known my drag dad, Eliza, for many, many years, and I was always helping out and hanging around. Can you explain what drag dad means? Sure. So when you're coming up in the drag community, most people, queens, have a drag mom, which is another queen who mentors them. I happen to have a drag dad who is a drag king. Eliza plays his character, Haywood Wakefield, who kind of kicks me in the pants and brought me into the scene, gave me my first performing gigs and my first sets of tips, and introduced me to the other people who've mentored me over the years, Johnny Blazes, my bandmate, being one of the big ones. Right. So yeah, Eliza showed up in my office one day, And I was like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? And they looked at me and they go, you keep talking about performing and you never just like step up and do it. And then they unrolled the poster and Eliza goes, I just spent $35 on these and points and my name's on it. So you better be at my show because these cost me $35.
Right.
And that was it.
And that was it.
Yep.
What was the first one like? Was it a transformative experience to perform?
No, I was so bad.
Really?
I was
like, you have to get drunk. It's so nerve-wracking. We recently went to a comedy show, and there was a guy who was like his first time performing, and he was like, just to get through it, had to get hammered.
I was too nervous to drink. I was so convinced that if I had even like a sip of alcohol, I was going to fall down the stairs and go rolling down, and like it was going to be a catastrophe.
Yeah, I guess when you're wearing heels like that, it's a really bad idea.
So so my first performance, I was bad enough that the guy DJing the show was tweeting about how bad I was.
Wow.
But the nice thing about like your first time when you're, you know, a little cute drag king trying it out, everybody feels bad for you and tips really nicely. So I was terrible, but I made a lot of money. So. But
when you say that you were bad, like what kind of bad? What constitutes a bad performance?
I feel like I would videotape myself just to sort of see.
Yeah, did you do that? Did you like?
Yep, I did. So, you know, now that I've been around and been doing this for a while, I'm always like energy, big presence. And then, you know, my lip sync is very tight. Then I was just starting out. So I went back to watch it and I thought I was like really big and it looked like this.
Right, yeah.
You know, and my makeup was terrible.
Yeah, what do you start with, I guess, in the learning process?
Yeah, exactly. You're saying that you take classes like
there's lip syncing, dance, like it's so.
What kind of classes do you?
The makeup, the whole thing. It just seems like.
Incidentally, Johnny Manson, I'm drinking your water now.
I took classes. Rogue Burlesque has a really awesome intro to burlesque series. I always recommend it to people, and they offer for all genders. My friend Dale Stones does a all male burlesque series, and they're great. And they cover, it's like a taster class. You cover everything. So I took classes with them. I took classes with another burlesque performer who's retired now. I took exotic dance, like every type of exotic dance there was. And then I went to BurlyCon, which is this big national, international sort of conference that happens every year, where it's just a professional development conference for burlesque performers. So I took classes with...
It's way better than any conference I've ever been to.
It's like glittery sparkle camp. So you can take classes with people who do this for a living and people who are all showbiz. So there I took like, you know, all kinds of clowning, physical comedy, tons of emceeing classes. I went back for a few years just to take emceeing classes, stuff about timing and musicality. I did take one on costuming, which was for people who can't sew. That's where I learned about just hot glue everything and hope.
Honestly, my life would be so much better if I knew how to sew.
Yeah.
Sewing is terrifying.
Hot glue.
I love hot glue. I love hot glue. Sorry to everyone who's ever told me to just stitch my stuff together, but hot glue saves my life. What
is your best hot glue story? What have you hot glued, and then afterwards you were like, holy smokes, look what I've done?
I have this really elaborate peacock costume. It's all made out of trash and hand-me-downs, and it's pretty beautiful. The tail is...
Did you have that on the Butt Cracker show? Or what? When did I see? I've seen that.
It was at one of the literary roasts. Yeah, where I turned from Flannery O'Connor into the giant peacock.
Yeah. I don't know where I've seen it.
Yeah, that's probably my hot glue triumph, because that thing is now a few years old and it has miraculously stayed together.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a giant wardrobe at home with all these crazy outfits?
I do. I have a walk-in closet that used to be a children's bedroom that's just full of stuff.
That's great. Yeah. One of the things that consistently sort of amazes me about this whole burlesque scene is the inventiveness on a budget. Mm-hmm. Like, we've got to get this done. This has got to look like this. Do you guys sit around and sort of brainstorm together when you're mounting a new show? Like, does everybody get together and go, oh, I could do this, or I have this, or?
Yeah, like people offer, one of the things I do with, since so many of my shows are for newcomers,
Yeah.
I always offer to help people with their costumes because at this point I've been doing it for so long. So for my really talented show, I've made people's costume pieces. I've done their wigs and makeup for them. But yeah, we're always skill sharing and sharing tips. And then there are also people in the community who are just so talented that you commission stuff from them. I have this amazing Boy Wonder costume that I commissioned from Femme Brûlée, who's a costumer, and it's covered in Swarovskis, and it's like,
Whoa,
so fun. It's so nice that after I commissioned it, I've never worn it because it's so beautiful. I'm like afraid of it getting ruined.
Do people find like nice items and give them to you, like hoping you'll just make something great out of them?
Sometimes, yeah. When I was first starting out, I was gifted so many random crazy things by people, and then in turn over the years, I've given so many things away. It's like bodies change and you grow out of things, or weight change. I'm always passing stuff off. So yeah, there's a lot of communal sharing, knowledge sharing.
Yeah. If somebody today just sort of like came up with the idea, I'd like to do burlesque. Now, couple questions. Does it matter if what their gender is? Is there a place for them? And then also, like, where do they go?
They can come to me. I teach drag and burlesque
Like
workshops.
where do you teach it?
I teach. Sometimes I've done one-on-ones with people at my house. Sometimes I teach at studios. I'll always find a place. But Rogue offers their series. They have a space just outside Davis. Dale Stone's his series is here at the Dance Complex. And there's lots of other classes around town too. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. And I always encourage people to explore because different schools have different takes. Some schools will be the very like hyper feminized, burlesque is only this one thing.
Yeah.
And then some places like we'll leave you lots of room for experimentation.
Yeah. So, like going back to the gender, what's like if a guy wants to go and be part of burlesque, what can he do?
Definitely sign up with Dale for his
Honestly
class.
though,
But yeah.
and I've seen that guy, super buff. You got if you don't get the washboard, you're out.
No,
'Cause
you
I don't
don't
see,
have to.
I don't really see any other dudes that aren't super fit that get to.
So have you seen Burlesque?
No, I haven't.
So that's Dale's troupe, and they're kind of bodies across the board. But it is,
really?
a kind of
across the
interesting Boston thing that like we have them, and they're all like, for the most part, they're all above 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're all pretty strapping lads,
Right.
but if you go to other cities, like it's one of the beauties of burlesque is it's supposed to defy body norms. So you'll see burlesque, which is amazing. You'll see lots of queerlesque drag queens performing feminine burlesque.
Yeah.
You'll see, just guys of every shape, size, color.
Because really, that's my only beef is that the women of burlesque in this town are all shapes and sizes, which is exactly how it's supposed to be. But all the dudes, super buff dudes, man. So
Some of them paint their muscles on.
That's a good trick. I never heard that one.
I'd like to learn how to make paint my arms like the most chiseled
yes.
I could possibly
So it's just
look.
all.
It's so much fun. I love it. I do it when I do drag king acts. I love to do the shirtless male illusion. So it takes forever, but I'll spend all this time body painting on like fake muscles and flattening my chest and doing the arms.
What sort of stuff can you do on a woman's body to make her look different?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. I mean, just flexing, and you kind of, you know how people use contour and highlight on their face? Just use that on your muscles. And you sort of, just like I was talking about, you draw a face in your face, just draw muscles on your non-existent muscles.
What are you saying, producer Stacy?
Time check.
Oh, at 57, we will take a break. And when we come back, we will continue with Allix Mortis. And then, of course, TJ will be bounding in here any moment now. And then we're going to talk about a big show happening at have you performed at Out of the Blue before?
I have not yet. I love Out of the Blue.
Out of the Blue is the best.
It is.
Big Out of the Blue show that will feature Allix Mortis in her other incarnation as the front person for a rock and roll band. Mm-hmm. The Bunch of Jerks.
Yep, a bunch of jerks. That's us.
Is that the band with Johnny Blazes?
Oh no, that's Johnny Blazes and the Pretty Boys.
Wow.
Everybody's got a lot going on in this town.
man.
You gotta keep busy. You don't keep busy, you get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. This town, everybody's got a laundry list of projects that they're working on. And one of the things that we want to talk to you about when we come back in 40 seconds is I'm sure that there's an Allix Mortis dream project that you've been thinking about that you would like at some point to create. So I want to talk about what that might look like. But everybody at home, we'll be back in 3 minutes. Everybody who's in this room, you won't notice the difference because we're going to continue having a conversation. But in 3 minutes from now, you come back and we'll continue. And by the way, this is really working out for me, I think.
I know, I think this is your best idea yet.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sleazegrinder Supershow. We're talking here with Allix Mortis, but guess what? Our old pal from Out of the Blue Art Gallery, just right across the street here in downtown Central Square, the great TJ Edson is here, everybody. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, there he is.
Coming through.
Delicate operation, TJ.
Oh, TJ Edson.
All a fan.
No, it's all wrapped up in the chair.
Destroying my beautiful curtain already.
Okay, that was amazing.
He just,
Hey, hi everybody.
It's a good thing we like you, because this costs, what does this cost?
$16.99 plus.
Oh, that's not bad. That's good.
Yeah, it's not bad for the entertainment value that you have.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Hey, TJ, do you know Alex?
I don't. Hi, I'm TJ. This is Jake. Nice to meet you.
Alex Mortis is, of course, the legendary burlesque star, but also she fronts a bunch of jerks who are, in fact,
Playing at the gallery soon. There you go. Cool. There's a show on March 9th, 10th?
19th, yep.
Right.
yeah, get closer. Get a little closer.
Hey.
There we
Cool.
go.
Yeah.
So we were just talking during the break that we were talking to Alex about her dream show, and it involves drag kings, which are
Female to male impersonators.
female to male impersonators, which takes more than a little grease pencil mustache to pull off. It's a lot of work.
Yep.
In fact, I think it's really hard to pull off that look and make it passable, I think you still go, oh yeah, it's a girl. You're taping down the boobs. It's a whole bunch of things that are involved in this.
Oh yeah. It takes longer for me to get ready. People always laugh at this. It takes way longer for me to get ready. If I'm doing a male character,
Yeah.
it takes me twice as long to get ready as it does if I'm playing, like Alessandra Vita, because that's just less work. I'm just highlighting
Right.
what I already have. Whereas if I'm doing a man, I'm usually like gluing on my facial hair individually, and before that I'm contouring to completely change the shape of my face, change the shape of my jaw, paint on my muscles, figure out my hair, strapping these guys down. So
So you're telling me you're doing the facial hair individually?
depending.
You're going them on one at a time?
Yeah, depending.
Real hair?
Different people use different things. I'll use a combination of my own hair and fun fur, and I'll just shave it really, 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 really fine. And I'll paint and apply and have a beard, and then I'll start texturizing and adding the hair in on top of it.
Fun fur is good stuff. Once in the 90s, I was at what's the big art store that's down the street? Thank you. Whatever.
Blick now?
It's Blick now, but whatever it was before. It was something else before. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is, I went there, I got some fun fur, brown fun fur. I went home and I got some paint, and this is what I did. My roommates didn't like it. I thought they were gonna love it. I
Is
was
fun
like,
for a paint?
no, fun fur is fun fur, but I also got paint.
Oh no.
Had this idea, had the day off, had this idea. It's like, I'm gonna paint the kitchen table and then the chairs like the Flintstones.
Oh, okay.
Like bones,
Right.
and like, pelt, like a pelt. So I paint everything orange.
Sober idea?
No, it was a NyQuil idea. I was on the NyQuil at the time.
Of course.
So I painted the table and all the chairs like like a saber tooth, like orange with brown spots. And then the legs on everything I wrapped in fun fur. And they came home and I was like, hey, look what I did. And they're like, we got to get rid of you, man.
I bet you got paint
I
everywhere.
got paint everywhere. I mean, it was ridiculous.
I would have been like, you're the best roommate I've ever had.
I thought it was a fantastic
I'm
idea.
worried
Really.
about you, but this is cool.
Who did the chairs belong to, though?
You know, it was the 90s. You just black stuff off the street, man. You know.
Everybody's chairs.
Yeah, you know, where does any
Sorry, I
furniture come from when
refurbished the house for you
Of the
guys.
earth,
24
man.
years old, you know? It just magically shows up somewhere. I had one of the chairs for years. Stacy, I think I might have still had the chair when we met, but I just didn't bring it because I was embarrassed. So I left it.
Yeah.
But it was a great chair. Fun fur.
Fun
awesome.
fur. It's good stuff.
You ever mess around with the fun fur?
I have never played with fun fur, no. I want to now. It sounds
Never
like
put it
fun.
on a table?
Never put it on a table, never put it on a chair, you know. Never put it on my
Honestly,
face.
I think a fur wall is in my future.
I sort of wonder, Stacy DC, would I make a better drag queen or would you make a better drag king? That's a question for the ages.
I mean, I kind of have the build of a drag. I think I could do it.
I think you could
I'm
probably
a
pull it
tall
off.
person. I have a good foundation for.
Show Alex how long those arms are. Look at those
Do you
things.
think these would be good drag king arms?
Oh, yeah.
They
Oh,
really
yeah.
would.
Yeah.
I think you got me
Paint
beat.
those babies right up.
I would like some help.
Get together with Alex and work that out.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah,
I
we'll put
think
you
it would
on
be-
stage at the next WTF Burlesque.
Okay.
Oh my
You
God.
just appear in the middle of the show.
See, my biggest
Big
thing
girly
would be getting down like sort of the movements, because it's very easy to sort of like, I don't know, when you imagine like how you're supposed to move as a female and be like a certain type of sexy, what is sort of the movement, or I mean, what are you sort of going for with your
You're just
with
trying
drag
to,
queen?
you're just trying to look like
I know, but
exaggerated
does
masculinity.
that seem harder to master?
It's harder to, one thing when I started, and then when I teach, the one thing that's always hard to get people to do is pay attention to the hands. Because I've seen really good kings, like aesthetically perfect, and then the hands
Oh, yeah.
are always what
Hands are flopping
gives it
around.
away.
Flailing around.
So I always,
Exactly.
yeah, I always tell people, watch videos of boy bands. They're constantly like,
So it's like a
girl,
very thoughtful.
like big hands all the time, like you're palming basketballs almost. Every boy band video, they look like they're just constantly reaching for basketballs.
And in the face, is it more like stern and less?
One of my friends when
Smiley?
when I was first starting out told me to stop smiling. He said that's one of the things
Yeah.
he had learned was like,
Guys don't smile that much.
yeah, it was like this, if you're like, kind of gives it away. So do a lot of smirks and snarls and
Yeah. Because smiling is one of those things. It's like, you know, smiling is a good sort of like let you know everything's cool. Guys don't do that because they don't want you to think everything's cool. So you gotta give me a man face. Go ahead, throw one at me. No, not TJ. He's got a man face. Come on, buddy. See, you're smiling. Stop it.
Stop smiling.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't
Really? Was
hug
that your man
a
face?
man. I just need a second. I'll come back to it.
You got a lot of work before the.
I know,
the
I'm not ready
WTF.
I don't know all the training yet. I haven't been through boot camp.
Yeah.
we'll work it out.
What class does she need? What class is going to give her a man face?
Probably take like a physical theater class.
Oof, I'd be so
Yeah.
bad at that, but I would like to.
Any kind of physical theater or clowning. Clowning does so much with
Clowning.
faces. Clowning is great for like figuring out what to do with your face.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about your band. It's called A Bunch of Jerks. Describe to me, genre-wise, what kind of band A Bunch of Jerks is.
Sure. A lot of people slot us in as punk rock. I think we're very garagey, very like kind of late 60s,
Yeah.
I guess, punk vibe. But we dabble in a little bit of everything. We've got a country influenced song. We've got some straight up driving loud songs. And we do a couple of weirdo covers. So, yeah, we're just a fun bunch of idiots playing music together and yelling.
Yeah.
Bunch of jerks.
We're a bunch of jerks.
So, and you sing for the band, right? Where'd you find the other guys? Where do they? Where did
Sure.
it come from?
So my bandmates
Who are the other jerks?
Yeah, the other jerks are amazing, super talented people who've been in so many bands and still play in so many bands. So Bat Snyder is our bass player, so people probably know him from the Allstonians and a band called Bosley. Gamp is our guitar player. He plays with Spectre Hawk also right now, and he's been in everything. And then Ethan Hirschman is our drummer, and he plays, again, with everybody. He's got a residency at the Plow with another band, plays all different styles. They're just the coolest, nicest guys, and a friend of a friend knew that they were looking for a singer.
Yeah.
And had accidentally heard me playing a Pretty Boys demo at work and was like, hey, do you sing? And I was like, yes, maybe. And we got to talking, and my pal was like, what kind of music do you listen to? And I was like, oh, in my spare time, I like the Pretty Boys stuff, but I listen to Judas Priest and Black Sabbath and, like anything 80s metal.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper, huge fan. And he was like, you should meet my friends. They're looking for a singer, blah, blah, blah. So I met up with the Jerks and we jammed one night, and then it's been a few years now.
Wow. Tell me, A, best gig you guys have done, and then B, worst gig you guys have done. Ooh.
Oh, man. I've had so much fun at I don't think I could actually pick where I can.
Really?
I can pick gigs where I was bad performance-wise, especially when we were first starting out. But I just have so much fun every time we play together, and I'm constantly every show we play, even if it's only us and the other bands, I love music so much, and it was my dream when I was a little kid to be in a band. I'm just so fucking excited that I'm playing with these guys and playing these things, and that I get to be my ridiculous weirdo self and yell at, and people will not walk out of the room. It's really cheesy, but every show is kind of the best show.
Wow.
Yeah, I know that's like
a good attitude.
It's like the
Is there
pageant
a
answer,
better
but it's
venue
true.
that's you like the crowd better, or?
I always love playing at the Midway anytime, but I feel like the Midway is kind of my second home. Those guys are they're so awesome and so supportive, and they just they let me do so many stupid things that I should not be allowed to do, and they just trust me and let it happen. But anytime we're at the Midway, it just feels like, it feels almost like I'm playing in my best friend's living room and everyone's excited.
Let me ask you this.
Birthday cake.
Stage banter is very important to me. Mm-hmm. How are you with the stage banter?
I am aces with the stage banter.
Top
yes.
notch with banter.
I'm good with the banter, yep.
So the guitar player is tuning up. What are you doing?
She can't just lip sync. She can sing and banter.
Yeah. What kind of banter are you picking on the crowd? What are you doing?
I don't like to pick on the crowd, but depending on how much time, I'll either introduce the guys or I'll say something about the song we just played. I love to be the gracious person, thank you to so and so who put together the show. And sometimes when we really need to stretch for time, I'll tell people about just stupid shit that I did, or that I just burped in the microphone, or I have 2 jokes that I've ever written in my life, and they're both terrible. So I'll ask the crowd to give me their feedback and tell me that I'm awful.
It's pretty good.
So, can we hear the
worst of the two?
Of those two?
Okay. Why do white girls always walk in odd-numbered groups?
Why do white girls always walk in odd-numbered groups? I don't know why, Allix Mortis. Why?
Because they can't even.
That's pretty
That's
good.
not bad.
I like it.
I like it.
What's your favorite weirdo cover song? I'd like to hear about that.
We've been playing Flying Saucer Attack lately.
Nice.
By the Rosettos, which is super fun and weird. We used to play $1 Billion Babies, which just made me really happy because it was little kid me was like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. But we don't really have that one in our rotation anymore.
So here's what we'll do. So you are playing Out of the Blue. What day are you playing Out of the Blue?
March 19th.
March 19th, which is going to be a great night. TJ is here to talk about some of the shows coming up.
Yeah, sure.
Here's what we'll do.
This week.
You'll say what they are,
Okay.
and then we'll tell you whether we want to go or not.
Okay.
You don't have your little notebook.
I do. It's right here.
you
It's
do,
right
okay.
here. I'm pulling it out. So should I talk about this week? This week's we got some cool stuff happening. Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow we have the Super Tuesday Bernie show with music by Sung Young, Dead Elect, Puppy Problems. I think you guys know them.
Puppy Problems.
Community College, which is the.
I can't believe there's a band named Community College. That really irks me.
It seems perfect they would come after Puppy Problems.
It does, in Saccharin. So Community College is Horse Jumper of Love, but
Horse Jumper of Love is just as bad as Community College.
reversing the guitarist and bass player. They're really cool. Either way, both bands. Dead Elect and Sung Young both played at the David Bowie night. They were a lot of fun. Dead Elect played last. Did you see them? Were you there for that? Okay, you left early, but
Yeah.
Puppy Problems.
It was
That's
too
cool.
I couldn't see anything. It was too crowded. You gotta build a stage. Allix Mortis needs a stage. If you know we got a curtain just so because she was coming, you gotta build a stage for her.
We got a curtain. We got a stage
You
curtain.
should donate the curtain to Out of the Blue.
You can have his own curtain. This is mine.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we can work on that, but yeah.
It makes a big difference. I'm telling you that much. How did it feel coming through the curtain?
It was great. I got a little tangled, but
It was big.
Yeah, it was so good.
I was
except
expecting a little bit of
halfway
that.
It did take hang
I'm a big guy, so I hit a lot of the strands. You know.
Yeah. All right, what else you got?
So
I'm not going to that. I'm not going to see Community College. That's
well,
out.
this is going to be a Super Tuesday night Bernie show. We're going to be projecting the results
I
of
get it.
Super
Okay.
Tuesday.
Got it.
Yeah.
The guy that put together this giant 41 bands Boston for Bernie compilation, Boston Bands for Bernie compilation. So it should be really cool night. Like we're going to be projecting all at CNN or whatever on stage, so that should be interesting.
Let me ask you this. I mean, this is not going to happen, but let me ask you this. Say somebody wanted to come on, do the same thing for Trump. Get a bunch of bands.
Yeah.
Have a little Trump thing at Out of the Blue.
Luckily, that hasn't happened. I don't know.
Oh, what if it did?
You know what? As a nonprofit, I don't believe we're even supposed to be doing this, but we haven't figured that out yet. As we just recently got nonprofit
Consulted
status.
the board about this?
So yeah, I did not consult the board about doing this. I don't even think we're supposed to. This is like, hopefully.
So you should probably not talk about it on TV.
Probably shouldn't even talk about it on TV. I don't know.
I feel like
But-
you should be on the board over there.
I kind of want to do a Trump fest just to be a provocateur.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say yes.
I get all the villainous bands in town. There's got to be villainous bands. I don't know where any of them are, but I'm sure there's got to be.
Yeah, they're out there.
I feel like
They're a different kind of bunch of jerks.
yeah, there's got to be like some shitty bands starting out full of like entitled kids who don't want to ever have to.
Yeah.
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 I bet if I crawled around in the suburbs for a while, I would find some conservative metal bands
Right.
to come and
All
play
about
the Trump Fest.
Yeah, so no one was interested in doing a show for Trump.
You could get that great band Build a Wall to come on.
Build the ball everywhere. Yeah. Oh man. Well,
Trump Fest, everybody's coming soon.
I guess for Thursday night we have the Barbizons, formerly known as the Fagettes.
Are you trying to tell me that the Barbizons are playing Thursday night?
I am. Yes.
Out of the blue?
You guys are gonna have
Yes.
to find
You are
something
fans?
for Melanie. Of course.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
best.
cool.
You're gonna have to
Oh, that's
find
right.
something for her to hang off of.
Yeah.
She likes to hang off the
I
rafters.
hang upside
Right.
down on stuff, so
I've seen her do that
You
in
have-
pictures. Yeah.
You have 72 hours.
we still
I'll
have
get her a ladder and see what happens.
we still have the Melanie Stacy arm wrestling
I have to
match.
arm wrestle her.
Oh.
She's probably gonna win.
Who else?
Those drag king arms of yours might say
Who else
otherwise.
Barbizons playing with?
They're playing with a band, I think they're from Chicago, called Crushed Out.
Oh yeah, Crushed Out.
Do you know them too?
I saw them at the Plowing Stars.
They're cool?
Yeah,
Like
they're
surf
super
rock?
fun. Yeah.
They seem like they're pretty cool. I don't know much about them, but
There's a lot of showmanship going on with Crushed Out.
it seems to be so, yeah. Based on
Drummer
what I've
chick,
seen in
I
pictures
can't
and
even
stuff.
remember how it goes, but there's a climax where she jumps on top of the drums and then something happens, and I was like, wow, that was awesome. And I was like, it also looked like you're gonna break your neck, but she said, no, I've done it 1,000 times before. But when you're watching it though, I'm not, it'll still seem like she's doing it for the first time when you watch it.
All right, that should be a cool show. Also
That's how show
playing
business works.
is a local NEC band, New England Conservatory band, Spirit Level,
Yeah.
and a band from Canada actually, La Tragédie. La Tragedy. La Tragedy, or I don't know how to say it correctly. La Tragedy.
Do you think the band name is supposed to be a play on words, or is that just the French spelling?
I don't know. I think it's just the tragedy in French, I guess. I think they're from Quebec.
So we got Bernie Fest, we got the Barbizons.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
both
pretty
this
good
week.
lineup.
That's both this week. We got a couple of shows with Keynote Presents on Wednesday and Friday, but I don't know much about any of the bands, so I don't really want to speak on those. But they are happening. Frameworks is playing on Wednesday, and the headliner on Friday is going to be Self Portraits. But I don't know much about them. And on
You telling me the band is called Self Portraits?
yeah, that's what I have written down here.
Before they name bands.
Yeah, well, some
You
people
gotta
just
get
don't
on the
know.
board at least over it out of the.
I gotta get on
The
some.
name, the naming
Band
board.
name.
You're gonna be in the
Band
naming
naming
board.
board.
Yeah.
Sure.
Band naming board. So on Saturday we have a show at Boston Hassel. Major Stars is playing with Rengda and New Pope. And on Sunday we have Leaner, Elizabeth Color Wheel, Male Thief, Brown, and Prom Night. I don't know, you're just
Did you
like,
say
Oh,
male
prom
thief?
night
Male
is
thief.
over there.
Like someone who steals somebody
they
else's
just
mail?
go around and steal,
Or somebody who
mail.
steals men. Is it M-A-L-E?
M-A-L-E?
Mail as in like, letters and such.
Wow, male thief.
Yeah, just go into, mailboxes and steal
Yeah.
stuff. That's what they do, and play music. So that's this week.
Yeah.
We got Alex's show on a Saturday coming up in March 19th.
By the way, also on that show, Tracy Chevrolet
Yes.
going to perform her lingerie rap.
On
Oh,
which
really?
show? Which night?
That's
Same night, yeah.
Same night?
It's a
March
big show.
19th.
Yeah, it's Violet Knox is
Sunday.
playing that show, and
Wow, that's been
Inundation.
driving me crazy to go see their band too, so gotta be there for that one.
You'll be there. Sweet.
Any non-band nights coming up
Yeah.
over there that you want to talk about?
We
Any
just
kind of art happening?
scheduled a tarot card reading class.
Tarot card reading class.
You guys might be interested.
I would
feel like that'd
absolutely
be
not be
cool.
interested in that.
Okay, well, Elaine from the Middle East, she works there. She came over and wanted to.
Do you believe in tarot cards?
I mean, they're cool. I don't really know much about them, to be honest.
When you're getting your own reading.
No, nobody. I don't.
Except for the last time I did, it was in P-Town, and the guy was like telling me all these devastating things, and then he'd be like, well, but maybe not,
These are just cards, all right?
I remember that. You went
Don't really listen to them.
I bought the economy tarot. Does she do different levels?
It's going to be a class, so I'm assuming she's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get the premiere version.
The cheapest one, you're dead in a week. If you want to pay more, you'll have a
I
mansion
didn't get to
someday.
learn the
So the
names of
first
my
class for
characters.
that, if anyone's interested in that, will be from 7 to 8 on March 10th, 17th, the 24th, and the 31st
And how much
in
is
March. I think she's doing $15 a class. So
15 or 15?
15.
15's great.
Yeah.
I love all these skill sharing classes that are going on.
Yeah.
You should do a class over there.
Yeah, you could.
I think like a costume class.
So we have Brandy Wine. Do you know Brandy Wine?
Yeah. Just
So she
pasty
did
making.
a pasty making workshop at the gallery a couple times. That's been pretty successful.
What?
Yeah, she's a pasty making machine.
She makes all the pasties.
So hot glue gun good for that? Or
Yeah, let's have a
or
hot
how's
glue
it?
gun class.
Yeah, glue shit to other
Come to
shit
the next
class.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken needs all the pasties.
Yeah.
You can get.
Allix Mortis, what is your feeling on astrology, by the way?
I'm not a follower of astrology. I did get my tarot cards read once, and I had a cool experience, but it was more like just because it was a cool story. And the lady was pretty, I don't know whether she was reading me or whether she had a gift, but she was so intuitive
Yeah.
that I enjoyed the experience so much that I've never actually wanted to get my cards read again.
Was there any accuracy in what she told you?
Weirdly, yes, there were a few things not about me, but she had a couple moments where she would like kind of twitch and be like, blah, 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 talking to the air or something. And she'd look at me and be like, you have 2 brothers and a sister, right? And I was like, yes, lady who I've never met before. Okay, fine, sure. So she was pretty cool.
I mean, it's all cold reading somehow.
Yeah.
But it's like, how exactly? Like, what gives that away by looking at you, man?
That's what I was wondering. I figured whether she had a gift or whether she was just really good at reading people,
Yeah.
it was going to be a cool experience and I was going to learn something about
Yeah.
myself. And I totally did. And a lot of cool stuff came out of, you know, whether I just internalized the things that she told me and acted on them myself or whether it was fate. A lot of cool stuff happened.
After the tarot reading.
Yeah, she pulled me a death card, which is New Beginnings, and then right afterwards I got home and Michael and Sophia cast me in Magnetic. So,
But aren't there always new beginnings happening all the time?
yeah, probably, but I've been in a rut.
Mine could be
So-
like, oh, I'm off of Cheez-Its and I'm on animal crackers.
That's a new beginning,
Yeah.
right? So in your
Yeah.
head,
It's a new beginning.
you try to find a way for it to work in whatever just happened, right? That's what they're going to tell you in the tarot card class.
That sounds about right. I mean, you can just kind of make things up for whatever comes up, like somehow tell yourself.
And mine was like, you're
self-fulfilling
gonna die
prophecy.
young or
Yeah,
new beginning.
right? One or the other.
I really enjoyed My Lady was so intuitive, and she just had like a card table that was falling apart. She was smoking a cigarette, looked totally disinterested. Her sister, who was sitting next to her, who on this little strip was like the touristy reader, had a tent, had everything.
Yeah.
So we're standing right by the sister's tent, the big tent, and my friends are talking. They're wearing their wedding rings. My friend is obviously pregnant. They sit down with the sister, and I mean, she was like clueless, didn't get a thing. She's looking at them and she's like, think maybe one day you two will get together. And it's like, no shit, they're wearing wedding rings and she's pregnant.
Yeah.
But My Lady, I was just kind of hanging out and she looked at me and was like, you know, puffing on her cigarette. She was like, well, your friends are getting a reading. You want to sit and have a reading?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure, why the hell not? How much will it be? And she was like, I usually charge people this or this, but honestly, nobody's come by today. You want to give me a couple bucks and we'll do this? And so I sat with her and she was like super cool, super intuitive with
Wow.
the stuff I said. So I got a cool story out of it.
So
and my friends wasted $50.
Tarot reading can be fun, but let's face it, we are masters of our own destinies. Am I right, TJ Edson?
Gotta reap what you sow, you know?
Listen, everybody, it's almost time to go here, so let me first say, the great Allix Mortis, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Great burlesque coming from Allix Mortis, and of course, you also want to check out the Bunch of Jerks show over at Out of the Blue. And that's on March 19th. What day of the week is that?
That's a Saturday.
Saturday.
Perfect, Saturday night. We'll all be out of the blue. Check it out, Bunch of Jerks. TJ Edson, as always, I want to thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to be over there on St. Patrick's Day for our next sketch-off.
Oh, nice, nice. What are you guys doing next? What's the next plans for that?
Green. It's St. Patrick's Day, so we're going to have to do all green.
Four-leaf clover thing?
Yeah, we're just going to do green portraits. It's going to be great. Thank you to Johnny Manson for coming by and helping me with this.
Worked out
This curtain.
great. Your vision.
This really is
So festive.
It's really changing my life. I feel a lot better about things now with this thing.
It's a new beginning.
And now I have to put it in a garbage bag to bring it home.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. See you, everybody.
Yeah, you will.